your rights concerning an officer's treatment of you, then you have to be reminded that the rights that you are claiming and the rights that you are standing on are rights granted to you by the same government who the officer works for. You cannot stand on government rights and challenge the government at the same time. You have to remove yourself from those man-made given rights and stand in sovereignty over God-given rights.
That's right.
You have to take the position that as a right, you as a human being, you have the right to equal and fair treatment, regardless of what the law says. You have the right to be properly dealt with fairly when you've been wrong, regardless to what the law says. And so when the law has demonstrated an inability or failure to properly deal with your issues, stop right there. We done. We have no more business, no more affiliation, because you no longer serve me. And people should not be beholden to a government or to laws that no longer serve them, but only act to punish them underneath the law.
So sis, take us out with what we need to do. What has changed? You told us what has changed. Now, on that basis, how do we move forward? What does this movement need in order to get human dignity for Black people and for all oppressed people?
I think for this fight, all hands are needed. I've seen in the midst of a lot of activists and organizations or people wanting to get involved, people saying protesting is not the way we need to boycott, or boycott is not the way we need to do thus and so. We need to do all of it.
That's right. All of it.
We need to hit them high and hit them low. Okay, we need to unite and not what the next man or woman is doing. If that's not your thing, go find what is your thing and work that. Because we need all of that. We need every single bit of it.
That's right.
And I tell you, in December, I was one of 9 mothers who went to Washington, D.C. as a delegation to demand police accountability. And I want to say to you that the pressure is being felt in Washington. Don't let them fool you. What happened right here in New York when those 2 police officers got murdered and how they turned on the protesters and tried to blame protesters for them, that should have told you right there that an effect was being made, not change, but pressure was being applied. Okay, the world, in fact, is watching. So I would say to continue those things. And at the same time, I don't want people to be led to believe that this government sincerely, I don't believe that the government has a sincere interest in changing anything. Okay, you either on the left hand or you either on the right hand. Okay, you can't be a government administration that says, yes, we're concerned about Ferguson, we're concerned about Eric Gardner, we're concerned about all the murders, that occurred by police. But on the other hand, you're facilitating with weapons, okay, military weapons, okay, in our streets. Okay, we found out when we were in Washington that there's a prerequisite to them issuing that military equipment to the police. They are required to use that weapon within 1 year of receipt. What do you think that does to law enforcement?
What?
Okay, it's like, oh, we got a new toy, let's hurry up and use this. So you can't, that's talking out of 2 sides of your mouth when you're facilitating them. Why are you? I don't care what the situation is, that it's old equipment, you don't need it anymore. I don't care what, there is no right reason why you should be giving that type of equipment to police in the first place. That's number one. There's so many things that's being done that blatantly show something is very wrong in government, and that the government has deemed all of its citizens potential terrorists. Okay, the laws that have been changed, and I want to point out something about, there's a saying that says an injury to one is an injury to all, or an injustice to one is an injustice to all. Everybody knows about the NDAA, which was signed by the president, which means that anybody can be accused of being a terrorist. They don't even have to tell you what they're arresting you for. You have no rights. You have no due process rights. You have no rights to an attorney. You sit just based on an accusation alone. Okay? Everybody applauded when those laws only pertain to Muslims who the country told Americans was terrorists and the cause of the world trade. That's how they sold you on it. But when they got time to sign the paper, they flipped it and they made it apply to all Americans. So I use that to point out and say that we must have care and concern for each other. Black, white, different religions whatsoever, because America allowed that. It was fine with America when that law only pertained to Muslims because they were told that Muslims were terrorists. So people turned a deaf ear and a blind eye when they were being terrorized, when they were being persecuted. Black folks is the last people who should have went along with that okie doke.
I know that's
right.
right.
They've been lying against us ever since we got here. They ain't stopped yet. That's the reason why they can kill a man unarmed and he's automatically deemed, well, he must have done something. Because of the rhetoric that's continually told about people of color.
Thank you.
And I don't want, because I am demanding national action and it is inclusive of everybody, I don't want people of color to feel that Black lives don't matter. Okay? It's very important that we play the role and the part that we need to play in this fight, because history has shown that we have been left in a cut many times. We start stuff and people come, jump to the front, and it's about they get their share, but we still left begging. Okay, right here in this country, we the people who are responsible for all the equal rights, non-discrimination laws on the books, but still other people can come from the other side of the world and get up in front of us, and we're still begging. They don't understand. They look at you like you're crazy. Okay? You live in America. Why you in party? Why you got no home? Why you got no job? Because they come from overseas and they got a store. They got this, that, and the third, and want to know what's your problem. But there's reasons for those too, for whoever cares to investigate and look and see what they are. I don't want to go off of what we're doing here. So that will rein me in sometime. I'm sorry.
It's all connected.